Winnipeg NDP MP Leah Gazan opened the debate by saying the government is failing in its treaty obligations to First Nations people.
The Government of Canada is bound to respect its fiduciary duty of care and treaty obligations when working with Indigenous peoples. They are also obligated to uphold our Canadian Charter, specifically Article 7, Section 7 of the Canadian Charter, that concerns rights to life, liberty, and security of the person. Mr. Speaker, this has not happened as evacuees have often been exposed to unsafe conditions.
Minister of Emergency Management Eleanor Olszewski and other Liberal MPs disputed Gazan's claims, saying the government has been in constant contact with Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew and First Nations on the ground to provide the supports they need as the situation evolves. Indigenous Services Minister Mandy Galmasti said this includes covering evacuation costs.
The Emergency Management Assistance Program under Indigenous Services Canada also reimburses eligible costs related to wildfire response and recovery. This includes evacuation support and culturally sensitive services offered with wraparound on-site, taking into consideration mental health, traditional food, language interpretation, and childcare. I want to share that we have been delivering these in a collaborative way.
But Nunavut NDP MP Laurie Idlout said it's unclear whether First Nations are being provided with proper accommodation or the tools to fight the wildfires in their communities.
What will this government do to make sure the evacuees are properly housed, fed, and able to take care of each other? The federal government's role in wildfire protection with regard to Indigenous peoples include wildfire suppression on federal lands, also known as Indian reserves or military bases. We must be given an update as to whether this is occurring.
Rebecca Chartrand is the Minister of Northern and Arctic Affairs. She's also the MP for the Northern Manitoba riding of Churchill-Kiiwetinoong-Aski, one of the hotspots of the fires. She said the Northern First Nations she talks to have been satisfied with the federal government's response.
I invite those questioning our government's response to actually speak to the people on the ground. Ask the elders who have been airlifted to safety. Ask the local leadership who's received daily updates, direct lines of communication, and who sent thank you messages for the support they are receiving from our government. Our response was rooted in safety first and respect for life.
APTN reached out to Indigenous Services Canada to get specific examples of some of the supports the department has been providing to First Nations during the current wildfires. In an emailed statement, the department says all eligible evacuation costs will be covered through the Emergency Management Assistance Program. First Nations can also apply for advance payments to cover costs, of which $2.4 million has been advanced as of May 30th. Fraser Needham, APTN National News, Ottawa.